Hello guys. I hope you can hear me clearly. Good afternoon today. So we are going to move forward from our last class where we discussed about JavaScript, and we still discussing about JavaScript though. So now today we want to talk about JavaScript array, and let's dive back to our curriculum. So we've talked about JavaScript output system statement, and we've talked about syntax, comment, variable, let function, constant operation, and data type, objects. We've talked about all this in our previous classes. We've discussed this in our previous classes, and today we are going to be looking at JavaScript array. And JavaScript array in JavaScript, let's say JavaScript array is a special, let's say an array. You can say an array is an also a special variable which can hold a data. It can hold multiple data, it can hold single data, it can hold different data. It's like a variable that we discussed last class. You remember last class we discussed variable as a memory location that you can store an object, you can store numbers, data, a lot of things that you can do with JavaScript. So I will be showing us a simple syntax of JavaScript today, and the where and how we can use JavaScript array, and also we just do a small exercise on how array operates and what is how to implement array in our HTML and CSS code, and also how it operates. So let's say let's go back into our code, VS Code. So this is what we've been using before. So I discuss, okay, this is not this class. It's not this class. Okay, let's have JavaScript. Okay, let's have a new window. I'll say JavaScript array .html. So this is our new window, and as I've discussed before, that JavaScript can be a variable, a variable, a memory location where you can store a variable, and also you can represent JavaScript array, and you also represent it as a variable. So now, how does JavaScript looks? What is JavaScript? The syntax of JavaScript to hold a data is when we have something like this. Let's say we have const cars is equal to, then we use angular brackets. In this angular bracket is where we save our data. We put all the data here, and this cars means a variable. That means we are defining a variable of an array. So anything that you have in this angular bracket is going to save in this JavaScript variable. So that is why we say JavaScript array is an also a memory location where you can save a data. So for example, let's say we have const cars. In this const cars, oh, sorry, I've not shared my screen. I need to share my screen. Sorry. Oh, I hope you can see my screen now. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. Const cars, and this is cars, and this is an array, angular brackets. If you have this sign, that means you are creating an array. In this array, you can have a data and the array. Let's say the list of cars. You can say we have Mazda, and make sure any data you are putting into an array, you put it in a quote. So to make it an object for an array to see. A data like this is a string data. If you have something like this, is a string. We call it a string data, JavaScript string data. So you can have Volvo, for you can have Toyota, you can have Benz. Put everything in the code. So, and also we can have a data like this. Let's say we have int number, then create an array. So int number means you are creating an integer variable number. So for an array, like you have to, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So all these is an array of a number. That is why we say an integer array, because it is a number, it deals with a number. So, and give me a minute. So that is a simple way of creating an array. And let's dive into an exercise so that you can quickly you can quickly understand what array does and how it works. So let's create a to-do list. I want to create an interface that we allow a user to create to-do list. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you'll be thinking, okay, what am I going to be doing today? Okay, I want to have a list of what I'm going to do today, like your activity for the day. So you can just have a list of all the activity, and when you are finishing each activity, you delete the list. So that is another way of making a goal or achieving a goal. So now we are going to create an interface, and the interface we are going to create is not going to be serious interface. It's just like a normal interface that will allow a user to create a to-do list. So now let's dive into that. As usual, as we normally have, let's see, we have our normal HTML tag, then we have our header tag, then we have our title tag. I like writing this for my students so that you can understand the code and how it's been done. And also, then we have a body here. Remember, between the body is where we are going to create all our activities. So now, let's create the interface. So I'm going to be using div here, and I'm going to be using h2, let's say to-do list. Then I'm going to have an input where a user will input the type of the list that he or she wants to. So I'll call this input a text. Then I'll give it an ID for me to refer to the input. I'll call it a task input. Task input. Then a placeholder. A placeholder can be anything, but me, I'll be saying enter a new task. So after doing this, I'll be having a submit button where user can enter the data. Then I'll have an on-click function to have the activity. I will not put anything yet because I'm still thinking on the how I'm going to do that. Then what next? What can I have list? Okay, I want the list to be showing at the bottom of it so that a user can see what he entered. And I'll give that one an ID for me to refer it for me to refer to it when I'm writing my JavaScript function. And I'll be calling this one task list. So I have input list and I have task list. So as the user inputs a data, is going to be seeing as user input the list, is going to be seeing the list. So I'll give my div a class for me to format the class. I'll call it container. Container. Yeah. So let me save it and let's check the output. Okay, yeah, this is the output. Oh, sorry, I'm not giving I didn't give the button anything. So let's say the button here, you call the button, let's say the button will be add task. Add new task. Say. Okay. Yeah, so add new task. So as user click on this add new task, the new task for the day is going to show at the bottom of it. So let's now format this one first. Let's format the table. Let's format the output. So I'll be using I'll be using internal CSS to do that. So I won't be having much data. Sorry, I won't be having much file to refer to. So it's better to do it separately, but let me just do it here inside the body. Okay, let me give my title to-do list. To-do list. That means that is what we are doing today. To-do list. Then inside my header is when I'm going to have my style. Say style. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to format the body of the page, which is I'll be giving the body. Let's say we have font family, and the font family can be normal font family. Let's use area. Yes, we're using this. And let's format the container because we use a class name for the container. It's a container. Container is, you can put the container, okay. You can put the container at the middle. Let's use mass width. So we're giving mass width for the containers 4px, 400 ps. That was the width. I don't want it to be too big. So because we just want to show an array, how array works and how it's going to be effect. So let's say the margin, let me give the margin of 50px, then auto, okay, so that I can be increasing. Then padding, I'll be giving padding of 20px. Then let me give border so that we can see what we are doing. Let's say border px, then I'll use solid, then I want it to be, can I use black? Let's say black. We can still change the color though, but let's just leave it like that. Then border radius. All this property is not necessary, but I'm just giving it so that it it can look nice. So let's check what we are doing. Okay, you can see now, I think it's making sense. Here's the border. As you all know, the property that we've been working around with. So what can I give again? Let's now format the input, which is the input where the user will input a text. Let's say width, the width of the inputs. Let me give ATPX, then padding, padding, then PX, then margin as well. Let's say margin right. Let me use 10 px, so that it can look nice. And also the button that user will be clicking. Let us give that one padding of 10 px. And also the list. Now we have a list. Also list style type, let's say none. As it's a list style type, and padding, let's pad down as well to reduce the padding so that it won't look obvious, like it won't look bogus. The list as well. So the padding is 10 px, then border bottom, because I don't want it. I want to give a space, just a little space. Solid. Let me use white. Yeah. Let's say, okay, I wanted to give something on this input because I want to give the input a specific attribute. Let's say the type. Let's go to text. Yeah. If you don't understand what I did here, you can just comment on the comment section so that I can explain. And for my class, for my student, I know you understand what I just did there. So after the user input the list, they can delete as well. They can delete the list as I've said earlier. So let's give delete a format already so that you can show color. Let me use color red for the button of the delete, then cursor. I see the cursor pointer. Yeah. So done. I think that will be the end of the front end. Yeah, you can see now it's making sense. Yeah. So we've created the interface now, we've created the front end. So let us add to the back end of the front end. As you all know that JavaScript is the one that will show the activities of what is going on in your browser. I think I have something. Okay, let's create new file. Okay, this one is here, JavaScript Array. Okay, so let's create new file. You can say array class one dot JavaScript, because the JavaScript function. So now in this JavaScript function, we are going to be focusing on some path. The first part is we're going to declare the array. We're going to declare the add tags, and we're going to declare the remove tags. You know, when user is deleting one user is deleting a task after accomplish each task. And also we're going to display each task at the bottom. That is why we have this. That is why we have this line. So this one will be displaying each task. That is why I have this. I gave it an ID so that I can call the function. If you remember last class, we talked about how you can display a particular element, or how you can display a particular data through an element through ID by using document dot get element by ID function. If you remember, so we're going to be using that. We're going to be using all those functions now. So let's dive into that. The number one thing I said we're going to be doing is going to let's use the comments array to store data. Now, what data are we going to be stored? Number one thing that we're going to do, we're going to use let to create a variable task. If you remember, last class we talked about how you can use let function. So if you don't understand that, check the previous video or previous class that we did, so you understand how to use let function. So we've created an array now. We didn't put anything in this array because it is user that will be putting a data into this array. And this when user puts a data here, it's going to save to this variable, which is a variable that we call task. So now the next thing that we're going to do now is going to add how to add a task function to add a task. Now, how do we do that? We create a function. That's something that we call function in JavaScript. And we're going to call the function add task. So when you are creating a function, it is must for you to put to open a bracket in front of it. That will let the computer know that you are creating a function. If you are not putting this, computer will not understand that we are creating a function. So let's now create the function task input. Task input is equal to document dot get element by ID, and it's getting the element from the input. If you remember, I gave the input element, I gave it an ID so that as user inputs a data, is going to get the data here. Then we are going to be using that data that it gets to display the data again. So let's continue. If you're not understanding anything, just let me know. I'll come back. I'll come back for that. Sorry, don't mind my rushing. So then you create another function that I'll call task is equal to task input dot value dot string. Then yes. So in that, you're going to have a new function, because if user is not having or creating anything, so there's nothing to push out. So as a task dot push task dot push task and another task input dot value, yeah, then equal to 9. Going to be equal to 9. I hope it's clear to you guys. Then display display the task. Then, yeah, that one is done. Inside, and let's create another function that will remove the data when user finish the task. Function to remove a task after user finish the task. After user finish the task. So we call that one again. Function remove task. Yeah. Remove function to remove a task. So using index thing here. Without that, it's not going to be accomplished. So index is then task dot splice. I know you have a question here because I don't think we've talked about something like this. Well, I know I'm going to come back for that display task. Then so this is a function that will remove a task after the user accomplished this task. Now let us now display the task. Function to display each task as user enter or input the task. So what are we having here? We're having a function again. Function display task. Then you open a curly brace. And we use let task list. Let task list is equal to documents dot get element by ID. The element is task list. Yeah. And what are we going to do with the task list? Task list is got is not equal to is in HTML. Last class, I think we talked about this, how to use inner HTML. So if you're having any issue, refer back to the last video for you to understand more. So we're going to use for each here because we're dealing with tasks and there's that it can be indexed, it can be following each other. Is equal to this and open curly brace. So let's list the list of this dot create element. Yeah, create an element of this element of list. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Then you now use list dot inner HTML is equal to we can use $sign then task. Then let's span it. Let's span this one. span class squad delete. Remember the delete that I formatted. Then here is what it's used for. On click, use on click, then on click is equal to remove task. Sorry, remove task. Then we have this again. Do it again. Index. Yep. Index. Let me use X. That will show in the console button. Span. Let's not close it here. So after closing it, task list dot append child. Paste command. So I think we are done with this. Yeah, that's closed. So let's now see if it works. Let's say in the morning, I would like to have my shower. So have a shower, click. Oh, it's not working yet. Why? Am I not true? Oh, sorry. I've not linked the JavaScript file with the HTML file. So now let's link it together. Okay, before we do that, let me go back to this code, the JavaScript code to initialize the call for the task. So say let's just initialize one in case of initial Scott display to display the task. If we have anyone, you understand? So the about any task can come by highly display. Without this, only my display. And just say display because use the display function. Display task. Yeah. So what else? What else? Let me save it. Then let's now go back to our array. Yes. Let me add the JavaScript link. I would like to add it here so that I will know if it is working or not. Scripts. I can even have it in the header if you remember that we can have it in header. You can link. Okay. What's the name of the file? The name of the file is array class JavaScript. Save. So we've linked array together now. So let's now see if it's going to work or not. Not yet. Something is happening. Let's go back to our code again. Let's check the on click if their click has been activated. So JavaScript, HTML, JavaScript, okay, everything is together. Let's check this. If we have any error. Do we have any error here? Dun, 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 dun. Don't click. Am I missing something? Okay. This one class, let class on click. Oh, there's error here. On click is equal to. Okay, that's one error. Let's check for other error. Okay, I think this one is okay. Let's check again. Not yet. That means I have more than one error. Let me check from the beginning. Let's. Okay, let function. Fine. Function that does add. Working fine. Let impute. Let task impute. Document and get element by ID. Fine. This also. Oh, it has changed. Value. That's how you troubleshoot. Sometimes you may write a lot of code, and if you are not careful of what you are doing, you may run into trouble. You just be giving yourself problem now. Why this work? Why is this not working? Task plate, input, display task. Fine. I think that's fine. Let's do this one as well. Let task list is go to that one. I think it should be working fine now. So I'm going to try again. If it is not working again, you're going to come back again to check why and what is happening. Okay. La, la, la. Save. Save. When you save and try again, it's not working. Let me now check the HTML. If I misspelled anything, it's not about this. Yeah. Array class under JavaScript. Yes. Task list. Yes. Task input. Yes. So why is it not working? Let me bring this one out. and parent in the header. Something is not. I think my eyes is missing something. I don't know. But let's see. Put this one back here. Um, what is the name of the tab? I mean the button I. Okay. And click. Oh shit. I think this is where I have issue. Add task. Save. My mind skips something. I know my mind is skipping something. That is why I have having error. Oh, that means my mind skip a lot of things. Okay, let's save this. Save this again. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So I think I've I have found out where um the error is. I think I misspelled some functions. So that is why it's not working, and I have sorted it out. So after adding everything, so let's now go back to the front end, refresh. In the morning, I want to have a shower. You see, when you click add, it's going to add the list here. So after having a shower, what do I need to do? I need to prepare my breakfast. Prepare a breakfast. You click here, it's going to add. So you can have multiple to-do list. So that is a simple way of creating to-do list by JavaScript. So we can also use this function to do another thing on your browser. So remember, JavaScript JavaScript it will make your browser activity more friendly user. So it's the one that add activity on the screen, so not on the server side. So when you're talking of the server side, that means we'll be talking about PHP. So we are staying on JavaScript. So that is where we are going to stop for today. So by next class, we are going to discuss a loop, JavaScript loop, how looping is working in JavaScript. So remember what we did today. We create an array. We discuss something about an array, and we give an example on how array works. We create an interface, and this is the code that we use to create the interface for to-do list. We have input button, and we have submit button. So an input area, which is text area, is there. So this is this is the tag that we allow the list to be showing. That is why we have an ID for this. We use list because we wanted to be listing everything. That's where we use this element. So, and we put our style in inner style. We use inner style for that. And then we created a JavaScript file separately so that we can read our code very well, can be clear to us. So then we now link the JavaScript file with the HTML file that we created here. This is what we put here. So we can put it in header as well. You can put it between your header. You can do anyone. There's no specific sample on how you must input your file into your HTML file. You can input the JavaScript file anywhere, anyhow, depending on how you want your code to be readable to other programmer. So if you have any question, you can come back to class, our WhatsApp normal class. WhatsApp normal group. Put your question there. I will attend to your question. And if you want to just type the question on the comment section, no problem. I will attend to each question. So thank you guys. Then remember our last class assignments. I'm going to check that uh before before the next class. So we have class on Friday. So don't forget about that. So thank you guys. I hope you understand everything that we did today. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye guys.